Hi, my name is Syndia. I've collected a few things in the past, I would say 4 to 6 weeks. New things that I've never tried before, so I'm really excited to show you. The first bundle of things that I bought is not as exciting, canvases and wood panels, but it's still very inspiring to think of the wonderful things that you can make with them. I bought different formats. I bought a few wood panels because right now I'm trying to figure out whether I prefer to work on wood panels or on canvas with acrylic paints and mixed media. So I'm kind of in the process of experimenting a lot more with wood panels. I also got an oversized tracing paper pad. The way I'm using tracing paper is not quite for tracing a photo that I'm seeing online or anything like that. It's mostly to trace my own sketches. I don't know about you, but when I sketch, I tend to be very messy. I have a bunch of lines that don't belong where they're supposed to be. I have bold lines and it's kind of messy. So when I want to sketch for a painting, often instead of sketching directly on the canvas, I will sketch on a piece of paper that is the exact same size as my final surface. From there, I will trace my own sketch in a very neat and precise way so that I could transfer it back on canvas. I think it's a good way to work, and if ever I mess up, I still have that drawing to go back to and kind of fix my mistakes or check things out. I got a few brushes. I feel like I never have enough brushes and I'm on the hunt for different textures and different sizes and shapes. So that's what I was looking for. In the art supply store, I always look for a bargain. I don't really splurge on expensive brushes, but these were very inexpensive. This is to me the most exciting one. It's really large and it has a flat top. It's very dense. It has like more rougher bristles, which I really love for textures. I don't know exactly what I'm going to use it for, but it's very promising. I only paid $4. Actually, I paid $4 for all of these brushes except for one. They were all on sale, which is amazing. The one that was a little bit more expensive is this one. It's a Princeton Select Script Liner. I don't actually remember exactly how much I paid, but I want to use this for fine lines and kind of see if I could use it for a nice, neat signature. I wanted to get a striper even longer than this to try things out, but they didn't have any, so I'm going to experiment with this for now. The other brushes that I got are also very firm bristles. This fan brush with firm bristle is very interesting for textures. Usually the fan brushes that I've seen are a lot softer and they're not as firm, so they wouldn't give that effect that I want to give. I like very expressive, impressionistic effects on painting, so I like those firmer bristles. And the last brush that I got is quite different. It has two different sizes of bristles within it, and as you can see, the top ones are very sparse, and I'm hoping to get a nice grass line with this, or hair or fur or things like that. And it's also quite firm, which is interesting. I'm saving the best stuff for last, by the way. So next up, I got some markers, some pens, the very precise kinds. 0.20 millimeters to 0.50 millimeters. They're waterproof and permanent, so I'm hoping to use those with watercolor. I recently fell in love with watercolor, so I'm going to try those out. All right, things are getting interesting. I got some Liquitex paint. I've been very much into yellow and gray lately, and I have a series in mind using yellow, so I needed more yellow. I got a Hansa light, which is very bright, almost highlighter bright, and it's translucid. I also got the cadmium-free light yellow. Love the cadmium-free line by Liquitex. I've done some testing with the reds and I couldn't really tell the difference, so I've decided to go cadmium-free all across the board. I'm really happy about that. And their packaging is brand new and really cool. You can cut this little spout at the height you want, depending on how much you want out. I feel like you would waste a lot less this way, and you can even use it directly on canvas like this to do some line works and cool effects. I love this packaging. You can also open this totally to scrape the pigment at the very end of your bottle. This is amazing. One really cool thing that I got, I'm very excited to try it, is cadmium-free acrylic gouache. Never tried it. Not sure exactly what the difference between acrylic gouache and gouache would be, but I can kind of imagine. Gouache is water-based. You can reactivate it with water as opposed to acrylic where once it's dry, it's dry. And gouache is very, very matte and almost powdery in finish. So I'm hoping that this gouache acrylic hybrid would have that matte finish because I really love the look of a matte painting. And I would have to do a little bit more research. I'm not sure if gouache is a permanent medium, as in, is it really light fast? Will it fade over time or not? I'm assuming that if they do, this acrylic gouache mix would be a permanent pigment. The light fastness rating on here says that it's excellent, so it should be very good and I'm excited to try it. I have to do a little bit more research, but I will probably use it in a painting and do a full video in-depth review of this in the next few weeks. So I'll do some research and I'll give you the information when I have it. I got some inks, some acrylic pigments, acrylic inks. I'm not familiar with inks whatsoever. This is all new stuff to me, so I'm kind of learning as I go, but from what I know, a lot of inks are not permanent. They will fade over time, and I'm assuming that acrylic pigments like this are liquidy, like inks, but they would be permanent and light fast. So I think it's very interesting, and it could be used in mixed media pieces with watercolor, with so many different things. So I'm going to try those. I got a white, yellow, and red. I got gesso in a spray form. It's by Krylon. I had never heard of this before. Someone suggested it to me in the comment section. Thank you so much for that suggestion. I'm really excited to try this. One of the problems that I have with gesso is that whenever I apply it, I always see the brush strokes. It's not a smooth finish, and I'm hoping that this spray form will give a smoother finish. Basically, you can render any surface ready for acrylic or oil pastel. The person that suggested this uses spray gesso specifically as a base for oil pastel on a thick paper. So I will try this for sure. Perhaps the most exciting item in the list for me is this item. It's an absorbent ground by Golden. In the month of November, I posted an art vlog every single day. Here's a playlist if you're curious. And I experimented with a lot of things. I tried watercolors, I loved it, but I wanted to find a way to use watercolor on canvas. I like working with paper for studies, but I don't like the idea of framing a final piece of art. Just a personal taste, so I thought, how do I get watercolors on canvas? This seems to be the solution. You put a layer of this on canvas, let it dry, and it's supposed to give a porous, absorbent ground. I'm probably gonna test this in a vlog in the next few weeks and see how I like it, if it actually works. If any of you already tried it, let me know in the comments. A lot of new things that are very interesting. If you want more inspiration, subscribe and hit the bell. I put out a lot of art videos every week, and you can watch this next.